think a key thing for any geographer is to be curious about the world. If you have travelled and you've been fortunate enough to travel in your life, I think you'll be able to relate what you've seen to geography. Or if you want to travel in your life, then I think geography will whet your appetite for that. I think it really helps if you like to ask questions and you want to know more about the world. More and more, I'm finding students with a real passion and interest in the environment. And I think perhaps what some students don't realise is how political many aspects of geography are as well. And with an interest in current affairs, because so many news stories or things that are happening in the world around us are by their very nature very geographical. If you want to understand current affairs, then geography gives you a very good basis in order to do that. In the first year, we look at some more local parts of geography. We spend a long time looking at the home place and where students come from. So we look at rural and urban areas that might be homes for our students, and we look at how those places are changing. Beyond that, we also look at some physical geography, and one of the main areas of physical geography that we cover is the coast in year one. In year two, we get further afield and we look at more faraway places and more global options. In human geography, it becomes a lot more political, and we look at issues to do with global governance, the United Nations, issues such as migration. And then in physical geography, we're really looking at the world and some of its systems. There'll be plate tectonics when we look at the lithosphere, but also very much focused on the carbon cycle and global warming and how that is changing the world, and the changes to the water cycle that we see associated with that. A-level geography is assessed in 4 components. 3 of these components are the regular written exams, but I think what's very different about it is the coursework component. Here you get the opportunity to go off and do your own research, and then that'll be written up almost at the very start of year 2, which means that you'll have one of the 4 components, or a quarter of your exam paper, done early on, and with a careful approach and making sure that you're diligent with what you're doing, then that's a straightforward way for laying a foundation towards your A-level success. There are a number of trips that students can go on. In the first year, we take students on a number of trips to develop their skills in fieldwork. Now, this might be a very local trip down into Cirencester. We spend a whole day touring a lot of South Wales, including a trip to the Big Pit coal mine, where we'll go down a coal mine. There are other days of field work on a local basis, including a trip to the coast at Bournemouth. We also have a longer residential stay. This residential stay, I think, is really key, especially for those students who are maybe thinking about studying geography later on, because I think there they can really develop their interests and really get a real taste of what geography might be like at a higher level or university, or perhaps other earth science-based studies that they might be interested in going into. The key thing about geography is because it's a very broad subject, which increases students' general knowledge of the world, as well as increasing their skills in terms of confidence, literacy, and numeracy, is it's a subject that very much keeps students' options open. In terms of specific careers, you can look at areas to do with current affairs and politics, which is maybe more linked to the human geography. And then with the physical geography, there's a world of environmental careers that are opening up. And through our studies of things like the carbon system and the carbon cycle, then really looking at them, that's an area which I think in the future is only going to grow. Teaching wasn't my first career, and I'd had a career in industry before that, but I found that when I started, I found something that I really enjoyed and I gained a lot from, and it's something that I've stuck with for nearly over 25 years now, and so I feel that it's something that I've gained a lot from personally. Been very lucky to teach geography for so long, because it's something that I feel very passionate about. The first answer has to be the students, because I found the students to be very polite. Many of them are active in their approach to their learning. They want to do well, and I've had a very positive time with the students. As well as that, as a college and as a department, we're very well equipped. The classrooms are very well organized, and we've got everything that we need to do a really good job here.